So I just took this Speed Queen dryer apart in order to get lint out of the entire bottom and mechanism. There are quite a few videos on YouTube explaining why that's necessary or needed, and most of them were either Whirlpool or GE dryers, and the entire back opened up and it was extremely easy to get to all the internals. So this is Speed Queen. It's a home unit, even though it says commercial heavy duty, but typical just a large dryer. It's been very good, no problems, and it's been actually working fine. But I figured, you know what, let me take a look and see how much lint there is inside and just vacuum it out. Now, every video I watched, that besides the ones where you open the back, kind of showed there are clips in here and in there, and you just pry them up and you can pop the entire lid up. Well, I looked carefully and there definitely are a couple of clips. The problem is I pried for all I was worth and I could not get the top up. I couldn't get anywhere. So I figured I'd put together a very short video. It's after the fact, so you're not going to see the machine completely opened. But I'll show you how you get this front off anyway. So in the Speed Queen dryer, there are 2 screws on the bottom. So 1, 2. I wouldn't call them screws. They're little bolts. So if you have something like this one happens to be 5/16. First thing I did was I unscrewed this and took the entire plastic out, and I vacuumed what I could get to. Second thing is this unscrews. So if I just do this real quick, I'll just show you what it looks like. I'm not going to take the whole thing apart again, but it's pretty clear what you do. And I wish I would have seen a video like this before I struggled with it for quite a while, because it's pretty easy to get apart. So once you get those screws out, this panel comes out, okay? And you have where the lint goes, the blower back there. And if you look way down, you can actually see all the way into the bottom. So if you're so inclined, you could actually vacuum most of the way with it just like this. You can get next to the motor, the whole bit. However, if you want to get a little fancy, underneath there are more screws. There's 1 screw here. I'm calling them screws, I'm sorry, but they're fasteners. There's another one over here. If you unscrew both of those, and again, you kind of do the same thing with kind of pulling it a little bit towards you. This whole assembly here drops down out of those fasteners. So the fasteners don't pull up. The fasteners actually stay in here and in here, and the whole front door comes down. Now there is a switch right back here with 3 wires. So you have to make sure when this comes down, you don't hurt the switch. So you have to support this, kind of pull it down a little bit, pull the contacts out. There are 3 of them over there. And then you'll expose basically 4 screws right in the front, and you can take the face plate off, which will allow you to take this whole thing out, and it will give you complete access to the drum. And that's it. The only little thing I would add is the drum, this I guess you call it a drum, is kind of supported on the back and actually on the front behind here by this piece. So when you not this piece, but the piece underneath it, which is a metal plate. When you go to put the metal plate back on, and it kind of sits down. If I took it off, you'd see, but it kind of sits down in a couple of recesses to support the weight. You kind of have to make sure that the drum is pushed as far back as you can, and you kind of have to hold it up and push it in as you're fastening this. There's probably better videos on that on YouTube, but basically in order to get the drum, because the drum sags, it's supported by the front and by the back. So if you take off the front piece, the drum will sit a little bit down, but just enough so that you kind of can't put it back together without lifting everything up. So that's it. I took everything out. I vacuumed and washed inside of here. Wasn't too bad, actually. You can see all the way down to the very back. I took off the back piece, I vacuumed everything out, and it's nice and clean now. And it was working before, like I said. I think compared to other units, this one's very good in terms of being sealed, because there wasn't that much stuff inside of here. All right, hope this helped somebody.